Okay, so now you know how to hold a knife. So now I'm going to teach you how to dice a potato. Okay, so I have a potato that I had already peeled. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get your potato into this like a little a block or a cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So you're going to take your knife. Remember, thumb pointer, the other three. So now I have really good control over my knife, right? So claw. Anytime that you are cutting, you want to do the claw and the knife like that. Okay, so the claw and the knife are always together. That keeps you from cutting your fingers, cutting your fingernail, anything like that. Okay, and just also helps you have control over whatever it is that you're cutting. Okay, so I'm going to take and I cut a little piece off of there, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. The goal is to try to get this to be like a cylinder, not a cylinder or a block. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. You don't want to lose too much of your potato, so I'm gonna go around on all the sides. Okay, so I'm trying to get off any of these sides that are like rounded like that. Okay, so this is the best I can do here with this because the potato naturally has like wonky little shapes or whatever. So you're not gonna. Sometimes you might not be able to get the exact block that you're looking for, but this is pretty close. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gauge this a little bit because I do this all the time, so I kind of know what size it should be. So I'm gonna go down that way. Then I'm gonna do the same thing again here. All right. So now I have what looks like a little slab. See, this piece is a little weird, so I can cut that off. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing here because that looks a little odd. All right. So now I have what looks like this. Okay. This is about a half inch or so. Okay. Now I'm going to eyeball it again, and I'm going to make like little sticks. So out of this slab, I should be able to get like 3 sticks. Yes. Okay. So I have my 3 sticks. Then I'm going to go in again, and these are my small dice. Okay. So they should look like that. Okay, so my potatoes are all similar sizes. Okay, so why you want them to be want them to be almost the same size and to be uniform is because when you cook them, if you have some that are smaller and then some that are larger, you'll have some potatoes that are overcooked, and then you'll have some that'll be undercooked, and then you'll have some that are just right. So if they're all the same size, then they'll all be done around the same time. Okay, so I have here an onion. I'm going to teach you how to dice an onion. So I have a red onion that I peeled, and I took the little root off the bottom part. So when you do this, you don't want to cut all the way into it and then end up breaking this apart, because then the onion will fall apart when you're trying to dice it. So what you want to do is kind of like shaving. You just want to take and just lightly go through and then take off the root. Okay. All right. So I have my onion, and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, so now I have 2 halves of my onion. Okay, so now it should look like this. So the cut side, and when you cut them, let me make sure, I'll tell you this, when you cut them down that way. Don't cut them across this way, okay, because then you're going to get these like weird little C shapes, okay? So cut them this way so that the roots are down, okay? Don't cut them the other way. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and claw, and I'm going to hold my onion, and I'm going to go up about, this is maybe a quarter of an inch or so. I'm going to do like some small dice on this onion, and then I'm going to take my knife and run it through, and I'm going to stop. Okay, I don't want to go all the way back because then the whole thing will fall apart. Okay, and then a room in the next step. You'll see what I mean. All right, so again, I'm going to hold my knife, do the same thing again, and I'm just going to keep doing that and going up and making cuts until I can't make any more. Okay, so it's that in here. All right. So now what you should have should look like this. So I have like these little, like little layers or little steps. So you got 1 here, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay. Now you're going to take your knife and you're going to go in the opposite direction this way. And the same thing, you're not going to cut all the way to the back because then the onion will fall apart. Okay, nice and slow so you guys can see. Right, remember, always hold your knife like this. This is why I have such good control over my knife. If I had it like this, it's just like I'm hacking at it. Okay, now I have cuts all the way around, so now you really can't see probably from that angle, but there's like they cut that way and that way. So now what I'm going to do, my claw, I'm going to hold this down like this, and I'm going to cut into it. All right, see, so now I have dices. But as I go further into it, the dices will be more of a uniform size and shape. Okay, and here you go. You got some small dice. Right, and they're all, like I said, pretty much the same size, and they'll all cook evenly, and nothing will be overdone or undercooked. Okay, so that's how you cut into an onion to make dices.